Testing, 1, 2, 3. Get my mic. I'm just gonna wait for a few people to come in here. Do we got a thumbs up? Is somebody watching? Yes, yes, yes. Super excited. Hello and welcome to the Griddle Secrets Challenge with Chef Sherry Ronning. I am super excited to have you guys here, and I'm just trying to figure out the tech stuff here because this tech thing is not my jam, but we're rocking and rolling. I think we're in the Facebook group Blackstone Griddle Lovers, and I think we're in YouTube. So hopefully we're streaming in both spots there for you. I just want to kind of wait to see if we can get a few more people on here. I've started a bit early just to make sure that I can get in here. And I'm super excited to bring you guys this challenge. I did 2 of them last year. So this is my first Griddle Secrets challenge that I'm doing this year. And I got a lot of things planned for you guys for this week. So I'm doing this Monday through Friday, the 5th through the 9th. August 5th through the 9th. And, I've got a few things in store for you guys. And, we're just rocking and rolling with it. I'm going to go start the griddle. I'm going to preheat the griddle because I want to get that going before we start. Make sure we got everything out of the way here. Okay. Okay, I got my griddle preheated for you guys. So it is 3 o'clock. We're going to get started. I would like to welcome you to the 3rd Griddle Secrets Challenge, day 1. So this is going to be going for 5 days, and I'm going to be doing a few different things for you, and I'm just spilling my griddle secrets to you guys. And I'm hoping to get some secrets from you as well, because that's how I learn. I don't know everything about the griddle, and there's a lot that I can learn and about cooking and all that kind of thing, and I just like learning from other people. So I'm hoping that you at least get one thing that you learn out of today's Griddle Secrets Challenge, and maybe you can just share with me in the comments. So hi Liz, how are you? So Liz, sorry I didn't respond to you, but I was busy getting ready for the challenge today. I will reply to your message earlier today, but thank you for joining me. So let's see, fajitas today. Liz says let's see if I can get Liz's comment here. She says she loves fajitas and never made them on the griddle, so she's excited to be here. I'm excited to have you here. And fajitas, let me give you the backstory about fajitas. So I like fajitas. My family likes fajitas. So we ended up getting my daughter's boyfriend, Cody, a griddle. Was it not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before? So they have made for us some fajitas, some steak and some chicken fajitas before, and they're outstanding. They are so good. And I was so jealous because I really wanted to make them, but I didn't know how to make them. I didn't know the sauce that they were using to marinate their stuff in. And the little stinker, my daughter Lexi, would not give me, she still hasn't given me the fajita, her special fajita seasoning recipe. And so I tried making them last year, no, the beginning of this year. I tried making them. I was doing a cooking series, and I tried, but they didn't turn out like how she makes them, how her and Cody make them. And I really, um, I've been trying to figure it out. So we had a birthday party for my youngest daughter last week or so, and her request was to have my older daughter make fajitas for her birthday party. And so I kind of got a few tips by watching her, what she did and stuff. And I've made my seasoning, and I'm not sure if it's as good as hers, but it looks pretty good. So we're just gonna rock and roll with it. And I want you guys to just maybe take a secret or two from me today and ask me questions. I really want to hear questions. If you're on Facebook, I'm not sure if I'll be able to see your comments. I'm trying to get this tech thing worked out, and I used to be able to see the Facebook comments and my YouTube comments, but I think I'm only going to be able to see the YouTube comments. Let's see. Um, yeah, oh, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Ryan is in um he's part of the Griddle crew, and he is in the Facebook group, My Griddle Secrets Lover. Hi, Ryan. How are you? Hi, Keith. How are you? Let me know if you have joined me before. I know Ryan has joined me, and I know Liz has been there. This is an awesome opportunity that I have to share different stuff with you guys, and we're gonna get started. So my brother is coming over at 4 o'clock for dinner, which is in an hour for us. I'm not sure what time zone you guys are in, but that is like 55 minutes for me. He'll be here in about an hour. So I really want to have this done for him to be able to serve. We have dinner early, and so this is what I am planning on doing, is cooking things for you this week, and then we will eat that for dinner. And I got a lot of stuff planned for you guys. And I got a lot of things, secrets that I want to share to you as far as what I'm doing for the future, what I'm got in the works and stuff. I will talk about that after we get done cooking. But I guess let's get started cooking. I have the griddle preheated at it's on high, so I'm going to turn it down. I forgot to turn it down. I turned it on high, and then so we have it. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. But one one thing that I was wanted to share with you is the griddle top. Yesterday, my husband and I tried working on the griddle top, and I'm going to just see. You could see a little bit of it. So there's a little bit there, and I don't know. I've been having issues with my griddle top, and I've tried a couple different ways to clean it and get rid of it. So Ryan, if you have any tips for me on that, I would love to hear it. That's one thing I would love to hear from the griddle crew on, anybody that's done that, because mine started flaking. And but yesterday, my husband used his power tools, and we got a lot of it off. We used a griddle brick, and I re-seasoned it, and the seasoning looks pretty good on it. So I'm just going to rock and roll with it. And okay, the griddle. Now I had it on high, so I just turned it on a little bit more medium. It's starting to cool down a little bit. I can tell that it's cooling down. So the fajita seasoning, that is one thing that I've been trying to figure out. I have a marinated flank steak that I'm going to be doing with this, and I'm also going to be doing chicken. So I've got the chicken cut up into strips, and we are going to be using the chicken. like that. So this I have not marinated, and this I have marinated. And you can do this. You can marinate the chicken if you want. You can do the flank steak and do it, you know, the seasoning on top of it. It's kind of up to you. But I wanted to get the steak marinated a little bit. We're going to get that started first, and I'm going to do the steak here. So my brother, one thing that we have when you're cooking on the griddle, you need to watch. My brother is allergic to peppers, and so there is peppers in this recipe. So I'm going to try to keep the peppers in one section and the rest in another for him, so that, you know, it's not so that he doesn't have to worry about having an allergic reaction with it. And so I'm going to do the flank steak over here, and then I'll probably do the chicken, and then maybe the onions and the peppers over there. I'm going to start with a little bit of oil, and we're gonna go like that. I'm gonna take my spatula and just spread it around a little bit like that. And the one thing with fajitas, when my daughter was cooking them the other day, she's like requested, she's like, can I have you have an apron that I can borrow? She said, sometimes this splatters up, and I'm wearing all black, so I'm not worried about it. But if you're cooking with this, a tip is you might want to wear an apron so that the stuff doesn't splatter on you. But I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm not a huge apron wearer, so I am just going to hopefully I don't get splattered too much. So I have opened my bag up. I have the marinade in there. So I'm just gonna gently just pull this off and set this on the hot griddle like that. And you want to hear that sear. That is one thing that is really important, that you hear that sear. Otherwise, your griddle is not hot enough. And then I'm going to take, there's a little bit of this marinade in there, and I'm going to maybe try to get, if I can get it combined a little bit here. It's got a lot of liquid. So I'm just going to put this on top of it, and just instead of wasting it, you can throw it away if you want to, but I'm just going to kind of pour it on top here and kind of let it cook in to the flank steak. Alrighty. And then I do have my bucket of soapy water. I always like to have soapy water and a wash rag to wipe my hands with. Okay, we're going to go on this side, and then I'm going to start cooking the vegetables. So I'm going to do the peppers up here, and then I'm going to do the onions here. With them, I'm going to be using the dome lid to cook it. So I've got two separate dome lids that I'm going to be using, and to kind of keep them separate a little bit and a little bit away from each other. So I have peppers here, and this is something I think you maybe can buy the frozen in the frozen aisle, like the onions and peppers. I had some that were fresh from the garden because we have the garden out there. So I do have some fresh green peppers in here, but then I also have some frozen just to mix it up a little bit and to give you a little bit more color. We're just going to go like that and get these on there. Like that. And then I'm going to do the onions here. Like that. I dropped one. Put that up. I do, and I also like to bring a garbage out with me. So I do have my garbage here that if I drop stuff that I can just put it in the garbage. And I also have a tip that I have is my paper towel. I always like to have the paper towel out here so that it, you know, if I need to wipe up something, I can. I am going to add some oil on the top here on both of this. And then I am going to add some of the seasoning, the taco seasoning. So for that, I did end up making my own fajita seasoning. I looked online for a recipe, and I did find one. I'm not quite sure if it's the same as my daughter's, but I thought I would give it a try. So I'm going to sprinkle some of that on here, on each of the different vegetables. And another thing is the stuff that I used is this taco seasoning. I've used that as a marinade for the different stuff that you can use. Or you can also buy, they have the fajita seasoning like this that you can use to either sprinkle on or to marinate. That is options for you for the seasoning. So I'm going to add, I got a little bit of water. I'm going to steam cook the vegetables a little bit, add just a little bit there over top of the seasoning like that. And then I'm going to get the dome lid over top. So I'm going to do the smaller one for the peppers because basically my husband is the only one that likes peppers. I'm not a huge fan of the peppers. So I'm just going to, I just did a small amount for him. So one thing with the flank steak is that you want to temp it, and that is one thing that I forgot. So I'm going to run inside and grab a thermometer. It is super important that you don't get this overcooked. So I'm doing between like 130, 130 degrees is what I'm shooting for. I don't really want to go too much higher than that. So I will be right back. I'm going to grab it. And I got an escape artist here that's wanting to come out. Nope, you're not. Start the beans here for dinner. Just keep an eye on the beans. Okay, I just started them. Okay. So this is one thing I highly suggest that you get if you don't have it. I use mine all the time. I love this, and we're going to use it to check the temperature of the flank steak to make sure that it does not get overdone. That's the one thing that I don't want it to happen. We like ours like medium rare, medium at the most, so I want to make sure that I don't overcook it. And let's see, you can see it cooking. You can see it sizzling around there. And so I'm going to, I can see the brown coming up from it. I'm going to flip it at this point because I don't want to get it too done. And I want to make sure that, yep, I checked it. And so this is one thing, when my daughter did this the other day, is that it got really brown from the seasoning on it, and it kind of looked like it's burnt, but it's not. It's like a crispy golden brown, crispy dark brown, and that's exactly what I want for this. So I'm just gonna leave it. And in the tip for cooking this is don't flip it. So I let it cook for several minutes until it got really, really golden brown color, and then I flipped it. I'm only going to flip it that once, so I'm going to let it cook on the other side till it comes to the 130, and then I'm going to pull it. That is one thing that people will make mistakes on, is they constantly want to flip their food, and you don't want to do that. Just let it cook. You want that golden brown color. And the only way you're going to get that is if you just let it be. So now we have the chicken to cook, but I'm actually going to let this cook a little bit, and then I'll probably cook the chicken over here in the sauce when it's done. Let's see. I remember it's with my brother, so I want to make sure that I'm not using different utensils with his. So I'm going to just take, I have this one that I'm going to use and flip. We're getting some nice color there. And then I'm just going to cover this up so this stays in its own bubble here. Get it all in there like that. And then now I'm going to switch, and I'm going to use this, the other spatula, for the peppers. We got some steam, which is what you want. And I just did what I shouldn't do. You shouldn't, when you do this, put the lid up and let the heat out. And I don't know why I did that, but that's another tip is don't, you want to create an oven effect, a heating element there in that. And when you flip it up, you lose the heat that's already being trapped in there. Those are looking good. Not too much color, but there is the fajita seasoning on there. And I'm just going to go like that. And so I'm going to leave this over here so that that is with that. I'm going to check the flank steak because that's one thing I don't want to get. And let's see. So thickest part of the flank steak, it will be a little bit more done there, but I'm going to go the middle, thickest part, and I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom. I'm just going to go right to the middle there. Yep, it's like about 100 degrees. So we've got a little ways to go yet. Just going to let it cook, let it do its thing. And I really want to do the chicken, but I'm just going to wait until I get that off. Because one thing too, it's you want to let this rest. When I pull this off, I'm going to let it rest for several minutes before I actually slice it. So that is one thing. Another thing that some people will make a mistake, and we've done it before too, because it's like you're hungry, you want to eat, you don't want to wait for it to to cut into it. You just want to eat. And if you give yourself time and give yourself that time to cook, that plan ahead, then and like the way I'm doing it is I'm cooking this first and I'm waiting to do the chicken. So this is gonna have to rest before I do the chicken. So everybody's gonna have to wait to eat before before we cut into that. So let's see. I want to show you a close up here, a little bit closer. Look at that. Look at the color that we have there, which is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous on there. So, do you guys have any griddle secrets for me? Have you ever cooked fajitas before? Have you, do you have tips? Do you have a fajita seasoning recipe for me? Ryan, I'm thinking that maybe you might have a seasoning recipe for me that I would love to have you share with me. And, I didn't have, I asked the last time I cooked this and I didn't have any luck. And so I did go online. I got the one online, and it looks like it's close to my daughter's, but I don't think it's exactly. She's got something special she puts into it, and so we'll see when we actually eat into it. We'll see if there's any difference to it or not. But let's go back to look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna stir. Let's see. I guess we're going to check. Let's check the temp. Thickest part, right in the middle. Yeah, it's about 120 now. So we're only about 10 degrees away from it. So it did 20 degrees really quickly on that. We're going to make sure to keep a good eye on that. Stir these up. Just like that. I'm going to let them stay underneath there a little bit. Remember, I'm going to switch the spatulas here. I'm going to do that. And I did it again. I don't know why I did that. I flipped it up, but we're just going to flip that over. And these have a little bit more of the fajita seasoning in it. And I can see when I'm cooking it up, I can tell that in there. So, all right, we're going to go like that. And I'm going to be putting the I'm going to remove this. I am going to be putting the flank steak here to let it rest. And, you know, I'm hoping that it doesn't drip. Actually, you know what? I have this. So this board has two sides to it. It does have a drip edge that I'm going to flip over and use that side. So if it does drip, it'll go into that drip edge there, into there. Double check this, see how we're doing. Not too much. I'm going to check the thinner part here. Yeah, we're at 140 on that. I'm going to check the middle. Yeah, we're getting close. I'm going to let it go for just a little bit longer. Check to make sure. I don't want it. Yeah, it's not burning. I just want to make sure that it's not burning on me. And we're just going to, it's close. It's very, very close. And these probably are close to being done. I'm going to let them go for just a little bit longer. And this is the same with this. These are probably close to being done here. Just like that. I'm going to let that go just a little bit longer. Well, let's double check this. Yep, I think I'm going to pull this. It is right in the center. It's 130. This is like 140 on this thinner edge, and just a little bit over there. But we're going to remember we're going to have carryover cooking, which means that it's still going to cook a little bit longer as it's sitting. So I'm just going to pull this. And I'm going to go like this to try to get some of that seasoning because it's kind of sticking to the griddle, and I want to get that in there like that. And I'm just going to set that there. Just like that. Look at that. So I have my, I'm gonna remove some of this. So I could cook this probably in here, and you know what? I think I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna cook the chicken in there. There's the grease there. There's the seasoning for the fajitas in there. And I'm just going to use that grease. So you can either like get this grease off into the grease trap and start new on it, or you can have the flavor of this in your chicken. So we like, all of us like the beef, and we like chicken. So I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm just going to cook that. So let's go get this on here. Be careful not to burn yourself. Like that. And I am going to take and do some oil, put some oil on the top here for the chicken. And then I'm going to use some of the fajita seasoning. I use my, all of my homemade that I did because I just want to see how it looks. So I'm going to try using this fajita seasoning mix here and see what it tastes like, because I really want to see what the other tastes like, and to see if it's comparable to the homemade. I'm just going to sprinkle some on there like that. And then I'm just going to stir it just a little bit to get that mixed up and to get it kind of marinating in there as it's cooking. Like that. And then I am just going to let that go. You know what? So I'm going to pull the peppers here. We can remove that. And I have my container here. I'm going to put that in there. Like that. Okay. So there is our peppers for the fajitas. And then the onions. I'm actually I'm going to take and remove this, get this out of here so that I don't use that anymore. I have to really be careful with my brother trying not to cross contaminate stuff. And sometimes it's really hard when you're cooking like this on the griddle. I think I'm going to go grab another spatula. And the beans are looking good. So this is one thing that I really try hard not to do, is constantly running back and forth. And I've done it twice today, and that's very unusual for me because usually I have everything planned out and everything in line for what I want to do, and just sometimes it's just really hard. And I struggle with when I'm trying to cook separately for my brother, trying to keep everything separate. And so I did get another spatula that I'm using to remove the onions, and because of the other one, I was messing with raw chicken and I didn't want to cross contaminate stuff, so I didn't want to use that one. Let's get back. Look at the chicken. It's cooking. You see it sizzling there. Okay, so I'm going to remove the peppers. I'm going to slide this off here, and I can do that and remove that heat there. And so here's my container for the onions. Look at the caramelization on that. We've got them nice and golden brown, which is just what we want. Like that. It feels weird to use this on the griddle because I'm so used to using the bigger one. And that was one thing when I was cooking with my daughter last week. It was last week Sunday. That was one thing that she was trying to do. I'm not sure if they don't have it, but the two long spatulas. So she was trying to work with the two spatulas, trying to flip, trying to pick up. And so it was kind of neat watching her try to figure it out. And, I've had carpal tunnel surgery, so I only use one. That's what I'm going to use. And that's what I'm just used to. I'm only used to using the one and not the two. So we're going to turn this. Look at that. Look at the golden brown color on there. So that's one thing with chicken. You want to make sure to get the chicken done, but you do not want to overcook the chicken. So I'm going to make sure that I have everything flipped. I've got these. Yeah, we got them flipped. I want to make sure that I don't have like any raw pieces. And if you have the chicken, like separate it. Because some of this chicken has a tendency to want to stick together. And so I'm just going to try to make sure that it's separated. And just like that. Okay. So another thing with the fajitas, a tip that I have, you can do this or you don't have to, but I am going to take and warm up my tortilla shells. So I'm using the small shells, the flour tortillas here. the fajitas, they do say fajitas on there. So I'm going to use, and I'm going to kind of stay away from the pepper section here, but I'm going to use the rest of the griddle to warm some of these up as we're cooking here. And so you can serve the fajitas just like this if you want. You don't have to. I think it's kind of gives it a little bit more depth of flavor if you warm them up just a little bit. And we're going to go like that. Get this. So I did bring out extra plates. I'm going to put the warm tortillas on here. So I do have my tongs here, and it's kind of easier to do the tongs. And these will warm up very quickly. So don't let these get away from you because you'll end up with burnt ones, and you don't want that at all. So they warm up really, really quickly. Our chicken is looking really good. It's got the nice caramelization from the sauce. And two, if you have big pieces, I like to serve the fajitas that are bite-sized. And if you have big pieces, use the side of your spatula to tap it up a little bit. Alrighty, we got it toasted on both sides there. We don't have it burnt. It's not burnt, so I just want to get them warmed up. Just like that. So I'm going to grab a few more. I'll probably just do 4 more maybe. Do I want, maybe I'll just do 3. I'll leave a couple of them here like that. So let's go back. Let's look at this, at the flank steak there. We do have a little bit of juice that's coming from it, and that's okay. And it's looking really good. The one thing with flank steak when you're cutting it, so I'm looking to see the grains are this way in the flank steak. So you want to make sure that when you're cutting it, you cut across the grain so that you're having short fibers and you're not having long fibers and when you're eating it. So it'll be tender that way. And I'm just going to make sure that I'm not cutting this way with it. I'm cutting this way when I cut them into the pieces. All right. Let's get that and that. Okay. And then one thing I just realized is that one there, I'm going to take that one because this is where I set the pepper lid. So I'm just going to take and use this to make my fajita with because I want to show you guys what one looks like. And that one's going to be for me. Yeah, that looks good there. Looks good there. Okay, let's check the chicken. Chicken looks really good. Oh yeah, we've got some really nice color. Look at that. And two, you know, I'm pretty sure that this is done, but if you want to check this, that it is super simple. I tell people when they're first cooking, if they're not sure if their chicken is done, use a thermometer because it is so easy to overcook it. You want to get it at the 165. So I'm going to grab the thickest one, go right in the middle, and we're like right at 166 on that, which is perfect. So that's the thickest one. I'm going to try to see if I can grab another one that might be a little bit thicker. Yeah, these are done. So the rule is you do not want to overcook the chicken. You want to get it right at the 165. Well, I'm going to pull this. I am done with that. And I'm actually going to shut the griddle off because we're all done. And so make sure to shut the gas off first and then shut the burners off. Like that. Looks so good. I'll get this here. I'm trying to get it because there's a bigger lip on this side for scooping than there is on this side. So I'm trying to get it on that side there. Okay, so we have the chicken, we have the steak, we have the onions, the peppers, and we warmed up the soft shells that we're going to be using. So let's see. I'm going to try to see if I can get this in to cook or to cut this. I'm going to try to do it gracefully. I'm going to hopefully, let's see. So we have, you can see there, we have it. I'm going to grab my tongs. So with the steak, we've had it resting for more than 5 minutes, which is perfect for this. Remember the grains, look to see where the grains, I can see that they're running this way in it. So I'm going to turn it like that. And I'm using the sharp knife in the one hand and the tongs in the other like this. And I'm just going to cut this into bite-sized pieces. And you know, you can cut it into strips if you want. However you like to do it. We like to just do it in the bite-sized pieces. So then when you're eating it, it's you're not getting all kinds of, and see, we do have a little bit of color there. I don't know if you could see that or not, but yeah, which is exactly what I want. I don't want it well done. I don't know if you could see the color in that. Whoops. Like there. This is perfect. This is exactly how I want it cooked. And kind of hard to do it on this table, but I might not do it all. I might just do a little bit here and cut this. So cut these into pieces. So in just a little bite-sized pieces. Just like that. So as you see, I'm taking and I'm squeezing the meat a little bit. I don't want to squeeze all the juices out, but I'm doing it so I hold it because this is hot. If you were to touch this with your hands, it's going to be hot and you don't want to burn yourself. That's the last thing you want to do. So I'm just getting bite-sized pieces like that, and that's what I want for this. Just like that. And it's got all this juice on there. And I think the last time when I made this, I actually cut the meat up ahead of time, I believe. I could be wrong, but it's been a while since I made this. But I marinated it. I cut it up into pieces and then marinated it. And that's not what you're supposed to do or what you should do. So I kind of did that one wrong. But this is perfect. This is exactly how it should be. Just like that. There we go. We've got, I see some nice red color there, so it's not all dark, and which is not what you want. So I'm going to try a piece. It's got the seasoning mix. I can taste that seasoning mix, which is just what I want. Okay, so now I'm going to build my fajita for you. And look at this. Let's see. Liz says, oh, wow, this flank steak looks great. It does. It tastes amazing. It turned out perfect. And the reason that I'm saying that, and you can guess, you can do that, but you want to make sure that you get it at that right temperature. And having the thermometer, having this digital thermometer is huge for making sure that you know when the temperature is. Mine is just an Inkbird. It's not fancy. It's not. I've had this for a while. I do have the gun that came with it because I got the pair, and I don't like the gun at all. So I don't use the gun. I use this all the time, and it actually has the plug in here to charge it. So there's no batteries in it at all. You just plug it in, and there you go to charge it. I've only had to charge it once, and I've had it for several years. Okay, so to build my fajita, I've made some sauce. I've just made this sauce that I will put the recipe in down below in the description for you. But this is it's we like the sauce that we spread on the inside. And so then since I don't use pepper, I'm using some lettuce and some cheese along with the onions and the peppers. And let's start. Okay, so I'm got my fajita here, or my soft shell that I'm doing. I'm gonna make a chicken. I'm actually going to do half and half. So I like to do half and half because I probably will only eat one. So I'm going to take and put some of the chicken. I will put on the one side like that with it. And then I will add some of the steak like that on it. And go like that. Oh, and then I like to serve the sauce with a little spatula like this because I just take and I just swipe it along the edge there. I don't want a whole lot on there. I just want a little bit when I fold it up, that when I get a bite of it, then I get that in it. And so then I'm going to add just a little bit of lettuce. I am going to add some of the cheese there like that. Cheese, so we're going to add a little bit more there. And then I am going to grab the peppers and the onions. So I have my onions that I'm going to add to this. Just like that, right over top of it. And if you want peppers, you can add the peppers to it. I'm not going to add peppers. I'm not a huge pepper fan. So look at how full that is. Just the few ingredients that I have in there. Look how good that looks. Just like that. I've got the toasted, you see the toasted shell there. Look how perfect that is. So my suggestion is that you can make a taco or a fajita bar. So if you're having a crowd, we just did this for my daughters, and we bought, my one daughter had some rice that she used in it that she had cooked up, so we had rice. You can do salsa, you can do sour cream. What do we have? The guacamole is a good one that you can add. Beans, some beans are good. Corn. We actually have gotten a corn salsa that we like to use, which is really, really good in something like this. Tomatoes. And you can do, what was I thinking? Like even like a slaw, like a creamy coleslaw works really good in something like this. So just have a whole bunch set up, and that's what you can use. Make a fajita bar. So and that's it. That's how easy and simple it is. Does anybody have any questions? Let's see, some secrets. My goals for the challenge is to get people cooking on their griddle. That is one thing. I like to share recipes. I like to get other people cooking and um, cooking on their griddle. And let's see, we have Janice, yummy, and Keith. Keith's first time here with us, and he says I'm new to this, which griddle cooking. Yeah, and it can be scary for some people, but I'm hoping that with this, that I can get you guys cooking on your griddle and get you guys feeling confident with cooking on the griddle. And it's an amazing thing. So it is one thing that I have been destined, that I found that am I share my recipes. I don't like my daughter, she likes to keep hers all to herself. I like to share my recipes. And if you guys ask me, private message me, DM me, email me in questions. I have people that do that all the time. And if you don't want to post it in the group, that's okay. You don't have to. Just message me, and I check my email. I don't have anybody else doing it. I check my private messages and stuff, and I will respond back to you. So if you have any questions that you want answered and you're not quite sure and you feel stupid, maybe post it in the group, just message me. I'd be happy to help you out. And I have had quite a few people with, like, they don't know what griddle to get, or they don't, when they unbox it, they're not even sure what to do with it. And so I can walk you through the steps. I'm more than happy to do that with you. I just want you to get cooking, and I want you to enjoy cooking on the griddle. And that's one thing, that the griddle cooking is so fast, so easy. We Last Sunday we cooked for a crowd. There was probably, I don't know, 15, 20 of us here, and we easily cooked. And it was so easy to make a meal for a crowd like that. And it's fun because people like to watch when you're cooking and that kind of thing. And um yeah, so I highly encourage it. And um so I really hope you enjoyed my fajita recipe, the steak. So I have a half and half. So I have the steak and the chicken fajitas here. And I hope you try this. Try this for yourself, and get cooking on your griddles. That's one thing that I highly encourage, that you guys are cooking and enjoy it. So if you don't have any questions, and if you're watching this on replay, post the questions in the comments. I will see them. I will go back and look at them. And join me for tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be cooking. Not quite sure what I'm cooking yet. I've got a couple ideas on things that I'm going to be making, but I really hope you enjoyed this, and join me tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Join me all week, and I will get you griddle cooking like a pro. So we'll see you later. Bye.